television outlook on Web TV. We're live on location today at the Park Hyatt Hotel, where there is a media reception for the Canadian ethnic media. It's brought to us by the Ontario Media Development Corporation. They're hosting this event, and it's basically a recognition of all the Canadian media that is out there that represents all of the events, such as us, that bring you local events, and then we broadcast them to you. Please stay tuned for interviews with some guests and VIPs of this reception.
The association. My name is Kevin Shea, and I'm chairman of the Ontario Media Development Corporation, and we're pleased tonight to sponsor this evening. We're also very pleased that our minister, Aileen Carroll, is here with us tonight. She's going to say a few words. Our minister may be getting a little tired of hearing how I like to introduce her. And I take no apology for that, but I've spent a fair bit of time, as Madeline Zeniak, who you'll hear from in a few moments, knows, in this great business of media in this great country. And one thing I do want to share with this group, we're going to meet our minister in a few moments, is that we have someone who appears at the cabinet table, who appears before a variety of groups, who is one of the most dedicated culture ministers that we've had in this province. And it's a great privilege for me actually to work alongside Minister Carroll. And I don't do this setup in any kind of pretentious way, but she truly is a great supporter of media. I'm going to go off script, so George, our head of media, is going to worry about me in a little second. One of the most brilliant things about Toronto is the diversity of our media. And we have had phenomenal leaders in the city, from John Lombardi to Dan Yanutzi to ultimately Ted Rogers. And we truly do have, I think, on television, on radio, in print, one of the most diverse ethnic media businesses of any other city around the world. And it's something that I think, as the rest of the world becomes more diverse in its population, that we have a great opportunity to export our expertise in terms of the marketing, the advertising, and the way we have kind of built our ethnic media real business, not just in the city of Toronto, but I think across the rest of the country. But it really did start in Toronto. I was having a chat earlier this evening with a young gentleman who's on a brand new mission in high definition radio in the United States. And if you go back in time, the real development of the cable industry in Canada, in terms of selling boxes, as we used to call them back then, but converters, was because the likes of Moses Neimer and Ted Rogers and Dan Yanutzi realized that they were actually in a business of selling subscription stuff, hardware. And they started to put ethnic program services, back then Italian, Greek, later Chinese, on channels that were only available if you had a television converter. And it really is interesting to look around the world because they took that adaptation of marketing, the beginnings of ethnic programming from this great city here in Toronto. So I salute the fact that you folks have celebrated 30 years. I honestly believe the best years are ahead. And that is because we've actually nurtured and built a phenomenal ethnic production facility experts in production and programming that I think the rest of the world is going to enjoy. Sorry for the little speech, and George, you'll forgive me. I'm not here to give a commercial about OMBC. I will leave that for our minister to talk about the aspirations of the Ontario government. So with no further ado, I would like to introduce our minister, Aileen Carroll, to the podium and give her best wishes on behalf of your celebration this evening. Madam Minister.
Thank you, Kevin. I always appreciate the warmth of your welcome and your introduction. And I can't believe how many times I've been out dancing with the OMDC and not noticed that. Culture is our business. I love that. I think I may plagiarize that frequently. Business is a good word to connect culture with. Anyway, it's wonderful to join you, and I would like to, in addition to acknowledging that the delight it is to work with Kevin and Karen and the team at OMDC, I would like to just mention that my colleague Michael Chan, Minister of Citizenship and Immigration, was here earlier, but unfortunately had to leave before he got to listen to me. I think he timed that beautifully, but he certainly had an opportunity to chat with many of you. And of course, also Baz Balkison, my colleague, who he and I exchanged some repartee today at question period. He's the member of Provincial Parliament for Scarborough Rouge River, and he's also a parliamentary assistant to the Minister of Health and Long-Term Care, and he has joined us for this evening as well. So I would also like to, excuse me, to just extend greetings on behalf of the Premier, who sends his sincere regrets and would very much like to have joined us this evening. And I'll tell you quite honestly, I, in this job, speak at many wonderful venues, but this is the first time, I believe, I've had the opportunity to convey very personally that the Premier does send his warm greetings and does send his sincere regrets. Alors bonsoir mesdames et messieurs et joyeux anniversaire. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and let's say this is a very happy anniversary. From this rooftop lounge, and I love this lounge, we look out on a city of diverse communities, a rich cultural dimension that CIMA has served throughout our province for 30 years. 30 years is a remarkable milestone and a real cause for celebration. Our diversity is integral to the strength and competitiveness of this province, both culturally and economically. CIMA has done much to tell and promote Ontario's multicultural story. We are a pluralistic society, and we benefit hugely in that regard. Your print, broadcast, and online coverage celebrates our province in many languages and brings to light issues that would not otherwise gain a platform. You open doors for more traditional media outlets which are looking for your insights and your connections to the communities that you cover. You help to give voice to Ontario's cultural communities, and we are all the richer for the work you do and your professionalism. Over these past 30 years, CIMA has built an impressive network of journalists, many who are here this evening, who encourage an exchange of ideas, promote professional practices, answer the phone when their wife calls, and offer numerous job opportunities in the news gathering, creative, and technical fields. The work of your print journalists, and I've chatted already with some, digital media producers, and we're working very closely in that area as well. Filmmakers loved coming along Bloor Street, seeing them shoot movies tonight. Makes my little heart go pitter-patter. Magazine publishers and music producers will only increase in importance as the diverse fabric of our society continues to be enhanced by you and promoted by you. For what you have accomplished so far, and it is considerable, we offer our sincere congratulations. Et pour les succès à venir, Nous vous souhaitons d'être favorisés par la fortune. And for future successes, we wish you much good fortune. Dr. McGuinty, as I mentioned earlier, regretted, our Premier of Ontario, that he was unable to come, but he did send his wishes in the form of a plaque, if I could describe it as such. And I would like to just present that if I could, and I wonder if Madeleine could join me and allow me to do that. Thank you. Thank you. Such a paparazzi. I've just asked Madeleine to read the message that Premier McGuinty has.
Thank you very much, Minister. Very honored to read these words, and this is to all of our members here who have certainly earned and these words that are bestowed upon them. On behalf of the Government of Ontario, I am delighted to extend warm greetings to everyone celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. Canada boasts a wealth of languages and cultures. Fortunately, our country also boasts a strong and vibrant ethnic media dedicated to capturing and presenting the viewpoints, values, and experiences of our diverse population. I offer my hearty congratulations to the talented professionals of the Canadian Ethnic Media Association on marking 3 decades of providing outstanding print and electronic journalism to the communities you serve, and to our nation as a whole. My colleagues and I, indeed all Ontarians, applaud the fine work you do in helping to ensure everyone in our province and our country is given a voice. Please accept my best wishes for a memorable celebration and much ongoing success. Dalton McGuinty, Premier. Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you. That's great. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you, Kevin, for the great introduction. Since I'm here, to save some time, we can drink more wine later. Minister, our gracious hosts at the OMDC, Kevin Shea, Karen Thornstone, and other guests, and certainly our members. On behalf of the President, Board, and members of the Canadian Ethnic Media Association, I would like to thank the Ontario Media Development Corporation for marking the 30th anniversary of this organization in such a significant and meaningful way. The Canadian Ethnic Media Association believes that we are important contributors to Ontario's cultural media industry. The contributions of ethnic media indeed define Ontario and Canada as a world-class leader in areas, and I think you should listen to this, in areas of freedom of expression,
We're just talking about my wife.
in one's language of comfort, diversity, and ultimately democracy. As the OMDC believes culture is our business, CIMA believes that language is culture. And I think we're onto something really good here. I must also take this opportunity to mention that the first ever language documentary fund was initiated by Omni Television, and many first language and seasoned documentary producers, many of whom are here tonight, were able to emancipate Canadian ethnocultural stories in languages of comfort other than English and French, but also inclusive of English and French. With more understanding of the OMDC and its mission, our membership could certainly learn about their potential as journalists, writers, editors, producers, and webmasters. In closing, I would also like to acknowledge immediate past President Ben Vickery, who's right here. Say hello, Ben. Also a documentary producer who joins us tonight. President Ace Alvarez has a very, very bad cold, could not join us today, but he sends along, of course, his respects. And I must recognize one more individual who is not only a member of CIMA, but also of the OMDC, Q Rezavanafar. Q, say hello. We are honored by your interest, presence and recognition tonight, and look forward to the potential of what this relationship can bring to this province and to Canada. Thank you, and let's enjoy the evening. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much. I do want to thank Minister Carroll for being here this evening, for the other members of the Ontario government who were here earlier this evening. I want to close by saying this, and Madeline recognized Kiyu, and I think you should put your hand up. Kiyu's on our board. And he has been a terrific advocate amongst our board members. We do have other board members here this evening, but I do want to just take a moment to recognize Kiyu, who's reminded us, I think, of our historic roots in terms of the importance of ethnic diversity, ethnic communications, and in large part, if not singly, the reason that our board's here tonight, the minister's here tonight, is because of the magic of Kiyu and Madeline Zeniak saying, I think we should be represented here this evening. So I thank you. Madeline, I thank you, and I congratulate you and your board. And we ask you to stay with us for the next while and have a drink and let us know how things are going to be in the next 30 years. Thank you so much.
C'est bon.